What if you could think of a country, not as a nation-state, but as a publicly traded corporation? It's a lens through which the entire global financial system begins to make sense.
In this model, the nation's currency is its stock. The value of that currency then becomes a real-time indicator of the market's confidence in that country's economic health, traded constantly on a global exchange.
At TRADEVERSE, we unpack the systems that govern our world. Today, we're exploring the fundamental nature of currency and what it reveals about the global balance of power.
To understand this, we have to start with that central analogy: money as a direct share in a national economy.
So when you exchange your home currency for another, say the Japanese yen, you're doing more than just planning a trip. You are, in effect, buying a small share of Japan Incorporated. You're making a bet on the stability and future prospects of that entire economy.
The exchange rate, then, is the price of that share. It's the market's collective, constantly updated opinion on one country's economic health when measured against another's. Now, within this global marketplace, not all currencies are created equal. A small group of them, backed by the world's most powerful economies, dominate global trade. These are the 8 major currencies. They represent the titans of the foreign exchange market, from the US dollar, which serves as the world's primary reserve currency, all the way to the commodity-driven dollars of Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. These are the most traded, most trusted currencies on the planet. But to trade these currencies on a global scale, you need a universal language. Without a standardized system, the market would simply be chaos. That system was put in place in 1973. The International Organization for Standardization, the ISO, created the universal 3-letter codes we use today. It was a simple act of standardization, but it was absolutely revolutionary. It laid the foundation for the modern interconnected Forex market. And the logic behind it is beautifully simple. The first 2 letters represent the country, so NZ for New Zealand. The third letter stands for the currency itself, D for dollar. And there you have it, NZD. This clean, scalable system works for every official currency in the world.
Yet, behind these modern, efficient codes lie vast and often turbulent histories. Currencies tell a story of both remarkable stability and, at times, dramatic and sudden change.
Consider the 2 extremes. On one side, you have the British pound, the oldest currency still in use today, with a history stretching all the way back to the 8th century. On the other, you have the Zimbabwe gold, the ZiG, introduced in April of 2024. It was created out of necessity to replace a currency that had been completely destroyed by hyperinflation. One represents centuries of stability, the other a desperate attempt to create it.
But the language of the market isn't just about official codes. There's a human layer, a culture of shorthand and slang developed by traders over decades.
For example, traders often call the British pound cable. It's a direct reference to the massive underwater telegraph cable that first transmitted its exchange rate across the Atlantic in the 19th century. Or the Canadian dollar, known as the loonie, for the loon featured on its $1 coin. In a market where speed is everything, this shared language is vital. And this is a global phenomenon. In Peru, the US dollar is sometimes called Coco. It's a common nickname for Jorge, which is the Spanish equivalent of George, a clear nod to George Washington's portrait on the $1 bill. It shows how global currencies are absorbed into local cultures.
So it becomes very clear that a currency is never just a simple medium of exchange. It's a far more complex instrument with multiple layers of meaning. It is, all at once, a share in a nation's economic future, a standardized unit that makes global trade possible, and a piece of living history shaped by the cultures that use it. And that leaves us with a final thought. If every fluctuation in a currency's value is a judgment, a vote of either confidence or concern about a country's performance, then what is the constant, restless movement of the world's currencies telling us about the state of our global economy right now?